Let's look to factor everything we can first. So on the top, we have on the denominator of the top of the fraction, we have 3x squared minus 3. We can pull out a 3 and get x squared minus 1. Well, x squared minus 1 is the difference of squares, so we can factor that to x plus 1 and x minus 1. So I'm going to just go ahead and replace, this denominator with factored form, which is 3 times x plus 1 times x minus 1. On the bottom left, that is already as factors as it can be. It's a prime polynomial, can't be factored any farther. But on the bottom right, we can probably factor that. So this one's a simpler version of factoring. Don't need to use x factor or window factoring for this. We just need to look for two numbers that multiply to be -4 and add to be -3. So that's going to be -4 and +1. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the denominator with the factored form. X minus 4 and x plus 1. All right, now that I have all factored form, I can much more easily see what it is that I'm going to have to multiply by at the bare minimum to get rid of everything. So every denominator, when I say everything, I mean all of the denominators. All of the denominators have an x plus 1, so I'm definitely going to be wanting to multiply top and bottom by x plus 1. So we'll do x plus 1 and x plus 1. All right. On the top, we also have a 3, so we're going to need to put a 3 on there, because we need that 3 to cancel in the denominator. And there's an x minus 1 on top, so we're going to need to multiply that through. And then there's an x minus 4 on the bottom of the overall fraction, so we're going to need to multiply that as well. All right. So on the top of the fraction, we're going to look for things that will cancel. So when we multiply this 1 over 3 times x plus 1 times x minus 1, multiply that by 3 times x plus 1 times x minus 1 times x minus 4. Again, it may help to think of that as being over 1. So we have a 3 on top, a 3 on bottom. We have an x plus 1 on top, x plus 1 on bottom. We have an x minus 1 on top, x minus 1 on bottom. So all we're left with is this x plus 4 on the top. So that will all cancel down to x minus 4 over whatever we get on the bottom. All right, we need to distribute. So we're going to take this big string of things and distribute it across the parentheses on the bottom. So when we multiply all of that by 5 over x plus 1, the x plus 1s will cancel, and we'll be left with, 5 times 3 is 15. Then let's see, the x plus 1 canceled. Then we have x minus 1. And the x minus 4 did not cancel either, so we'll be left with that. Then we have minus. And then when we look at the bottom right fraction, we have an x plus 4 on top. So then, let's see, if we look at what will cancel, the x plus 4 will cancel with the x minus 4. X plus 1 will cancel with x plus 1. So we'll be left with a 3, the x plus 4 I already wrote down, and x minus 1. Let's multiply this all out and combine like terms, then see if we can factor and cancel anything else. So on the bottom, we're going to have to do some foiling. So we'll have 15 times, then when we FOIL, we get x squared minus 4x minus x gives minus 5x plus 4. Then we have 3 times, that'll be x squared plus 4x minus x gives 3x minus 4. Let's distribute the 15 and the negative 3 and then see if we can combine any like terms. So 15x squared minus, need to grab a calculator, 5 times 15, we get 75x, and 15 times 4 is 60, minus 3x squared. Be sure to bring the negative as you go through distributing here. So this is going to be negative 9x and then positive 12. This is again all on the denominator here. So I haven't moved away from the denominator. Let's combine like terms. So we've got 15x squared and negative 3x squared. Those two will combine to get 12x squared. Then we have negative 75x and negative 9x. Those will become negative, let's see, 84x. 60 and 12 is 72. All right. So with that, let's replace the denominator with what we just found. I'm just going to erase that gray part, and I'll actually erase some of this work too, give myself a little more room. So we worked all that out, and we found that we get 12x squared minus 84x, and then plus 72. Well, all of those numbers are divisible by 12, so I'm going to go ahead and factor out a 12 right away. So that leaves me with x squared here. 84 divided by 12 is 7. Oh, so that should be a minus. Minus 7x. And then 72 by 12. I believe that's 6. Yeah, 6. All right. Now we can factor the denominator. So we already factored out a 12, but we can factor it further. So we can look for two numbers that will add to be negative 7 and multiply to be 6. So that's going to be negative 6 and negative 1. All right, so what we really have then is, if I will erase that denominator one more time, this is what we end up with. As you can see, there's nothing to cancel, so that is as far as we can go. That's it, right there.